You were a big proponent of Israel when you served there. You were pushing hard to have the U.S. Embassy moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. What would you say to fellow conservatives about these attacks on Judaism and Christianity and the American founding?
The reality is if you sit down and have a discussion about somebody's 5-point plan to improve the welfare system, that is not going to drive a lot of traffic. But if you do things that are more edgy, there's a chance to get more audience. But I can tell you, attacks on Christians, attacks on Jews, demonizing America's involvement in World War II, demonizing Winston Churchill, demonizing our founding fathers, that is a dead end for conservatives.
Mark Levin has been one of our favorite commentators. He's such a truth seeker and presents it as it is. Let's listen as he talks with his governor, Ron DeSantis, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. Kindly subscribe to our channel so a little bit of light will push away a lot of darkness.
Welcome back, America. We're here with my home state governor, Ron DeSantis, who he and his state, our state, is going to benefit massively from the Marxist Islamist activity in New York, although I don't root for it, and I'm hoping Elise Stefanik can put an end to it should she get elected governor. Now, Governor, you see what's going on. You served in Congress. You were a big proponent of Israel when you served there. You were pushing hard to have the U.S. Embassy moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That's where I met you way back when. Let me ask you this question. What would you say to fellow conservatives, because you're Mr. Conservative when it comes to governors, for sure. What would you say to fellow conservatives about these attacks on Judaism and Christianity and the American founding and the great, generation in World War II? What is your take on this? I haven't heard it.
Well, I think some of the stuff that gets put out there, quite frankly, is just bizarre. I think we're living in an age where people are trying to build audience and monetize outrage. And the reality is if you sit down and have a discussion about somebody's 5-point plan to improve the welfare system, that is not going to drive a lot of traffic. But if you do things that are more edgy, there's a chance to get more audience. But I can tell you, attacks on Christians, attacks on Jews, demonizing America's involvement in World War II, demonizing Winston Churchill, demonizing our founding fathers, that is a dead end for conservatives. It doesn't work. It's not factually correct. And so I think we've got to just continue to stand for the enduring principles that have made this country great. And you know what? I'm proud of some of the things that that other people in other states have done to advance conservative principles. I'm proud when President Trump, has stood up and made our military stronger and took out Iran's nuclear reactor. I was proud of that as an American because he was acting in America's best interests.
Here's a concern I have, Governor. I'm curious of your thought. You are sort of an electoral juggernaut down there, and you've built up your state very substantially. Conservative, Republican, low taxes, constitutional government, limited government, all those things conservatives say they want, and you've actually instituted it. Are you concerned that if this little cabal, these voices, maybe they have a following of a few million here and a few million there, and together maybe they have 10 million and so forth, in a 50-50 country or in a close election, that they could hand to the Marxist, Islamist, American-hating left a victory in a close election, could they not?
Well, and here's as you said, Florida's proof in the pudding, because when I came on the scene, we were a 1-point state. It was a few thousand votes, 10,000 votes, 1-point races, more Democrats registered than Republicans. And I came in flying what Reagan said was the banner of bold colors rather than pale pastels. We leaned into strong conservative policies and we delivered really big results. What happened politically as a result of that? We went from a 1-point victory to a 20-point victory, 1.5 million vote margin. We now have 1.4 million more registered Republicans in the state of Florida than Democrats. And so I think we showed that conservatism wins but it's got to be the conservatism that flows from the founding fathers, from our founding documents, from some of the great leaders over the past 50, 60 years, including, I admire people like Clarence Thomas on this U.S. Supreme Court, who've done it for many decades now. That's the winning formula. I think to indulge in some of the stuff that's more conspiratorial, that is trying to demonize our fellow Americans, that's just not going to work politically. And I'm proof that you can be bold, you can be very conservative, and you can win over people who didn't consider themselves Republicans in the past or who didn't consider themselves conservative in the past. We brought people to our side.
And this is what Ron DeSantis is talking to us. When we talk conservative versus liberal, we need to be keen on what conservatism we are referring to, because it's been quite the journey for 250 years since our founding fathers have worked so hard to set the foundations of what the United States of America is going to be built on. So here we are 250 years later, and it's important for us to always ask, have we lost our way, or are we still upholding and maintaining the basic tenets, the sacrifices that our founding fathers did to be able to create what the United States of America is intended to be? The United States of America, I remember when my rabbi's father-in-law, Rabbi Joseph Isaac Schneerson, arrived in 1940 to the shores of America. He came from the Stalinist Russia, the worst oppression possible. He personally suffered terribly. He was sentenced to death, but he ran a clandestine underground system to keep Judaism alive in Russia during those days. When he finally was able to make it to the shores of America, when he got off the boat, his very first words were, "America is no different." And what he was pointing out was that we can be as Jewish as we were in Europe, we can be as Jewish here in America. But then he went on to say that America is a kingdom of kindness. And that was his attraction to America. America has been built on the foundation, "In God we trust." It was an America that included God in every aspect of it. And when you think about it, no other country in the world has excelled as America has in just a quarter of a century. Look in Europe, you're talking about countries that have been around for thousands of years. But look how America became this superpower of the free world in just 250 years. And one of the reasons is because the foundation was laid. Our founding fathers were the trailblazers who paved the way so that we can be here now and enjoy the America that we have. And we need to remember, maybe it's time to go back to the basics. Maybe it's time to go back to the Ten Commandments. Maybe it's time to go back and reread how the Constitution was founded and what was the intent of our founding fathers. The intent was that America should be the land of the free for everyone, regardless of race, color, and religion, or religion should have ability to pray, to practice, and to live a free life with total democracy, with total freedom, and to coexist, that many religions can and should coexist with each other. And this is something very unique about Judaism, that Judaism is a religion that does not proselytize. We do not look to get others to be Jewish, to follow Judaism. I wouldn't say that Judaism is the only religion, it's the right religion. What we do say is that Judaism is right for the Jewish people. And if you were born to a Jewish mother, then you owe it to yourself and to your ancestry to continue the legacy of Judaism. We have been through a very long journey, 3,337 years. Those were hard-earned years with blood, sweat, and tears. We have been through so many different displacements over time, from the minute we entered Israel until we got thrown out of Israel, dispersed amongst the nations. We have been displaced from country to country. We have been hated. We have been murdered. We have been tortured. We have been through the worst for only one reason, because we're trying to be Jewish. And being Jewish means that we have a mandate from God: be a light unto the nations. And that's all Judaism wants to do, is to be a light unto the nations. Israel, when it was founded in 1948, in the short 77 years of its existence, it has become a first world power by providing innovations, inventions for the world. It's always at the cutting edge of all areas of humanity. And it's specifically not for itself, it's for the world. Whatever Israel accomplishes, whatever Israel has invented and innovated, it gives it as a gift to the world. The world has a lot to be proud of, because Israel has brought humanity, and Israel has brought humanity through leaps and bounds ever since its existence. So this is what I think Ron DeSantis is talking about. When we talk about conservatism, we need to remember we have the right conservatism. Let's continue on moving forward. Let's go back to the future. Let's go back to our founding fathers, see what they had in mind and how they included God in everything. And when you have God with you, then you are with God and God is with you. God bless you. God loves you.